He smiled in pressure. Most players tighten. Most players grow serious. Most players shrink internally when the lights get brighter. Magic Johnson smiled. That smile was not entertainment. It was control. Joy under pressure is psychological dominance, because pressure is designed to make you rigid. Rigid players hesitate. Hesitation slows decisions. Slow decisions lose championships. He played free, but not careless. Freedom built on preparation is power. Freedom without preparation is chaos. He prepared deeply. He studied the floor like a chessboard. Passing angles, defensive rotations, transition opportunities. He saw the game before it unfolded. Vision creates advantage. Advantage creates momentum. Momentum builds dynasties. He was tall for a point guard, but his size was not his greatest weapon. His belief was. He believed he could control the entire tempo of the game. Tempo control is leadership. Leadership shapes culture. Culture sustains winning. As a rookie, he stepped into a championship team. Not timid, not deferential, confident. When Kareem was injured in the finals, Magic didn't panic. He started at center as a rookie. On the biggest stage, most rookies would have feared embarrassment. He embraced opportunity. Opportunity reveals preparation. Preparation builds courage. Courage under pressure builds legacy. He did not play scared. He played expressive. Expression builds rhythm. Rhythm builds chemistry. Chemistry wins titles. He made teammates better, not through speeches, through trust. Trusting them to score, trusting them to execute. Trust builds confidence. Confidence spreads. Spread confidence multiplies performance. He believed everyone on the floor could succeed. Belief from a leader elevates teams. When your leader is calm, you breathe easier. When your leader smiles, tension drops. Reduced tension improves execution. He turned fast breaks into art, but art requires discipline. Every pass intentional, every no-look calculated. Creativity must be controlled. Controlled creativity overwhelms defenders. Defenders cannot guard what they cannot predict. He thrived in unpredictability, but unpredictability rooted in awareness. Awareness sustains magic. He didn't seek isolation, scoring constantly. He sought orchestration. Orchestration is control of environment. Control of environment reduces chaos. Reduced chaos builds precision. He understood that leadership is responsibility. Responsibility demands accountability. Accountability builds trust. Trust builds championships. He wasn't afraid to take big shots, but he didn't need to dominate scoring to dominate games. Dominance is impact. Impact is influence. Influence shapes outcomes. He influenced pace. He influenced energy. He influenced belief. Belief spreads faster than doubt. He played with joy. Joy removes fear. Fear restricts creativity. Creativity creates separation. Separation creates highlights. Highlights create myth, but myth was built on fundamentals. Drills, reps, conditioning, film study. He prepared so deeply that creativity became instinct. Instinct under pressure is deadly. He made the game look easy. Ease is mastery disguised. Mastery requires thousands of unseen reps. He trusted his vision. Vision requires courage, because creative decisions risk mistakes. Fear of mistakes kills creativity. He did not fear mistakes. He played through them. Playing through mistakes builds resilience. Resilience builds longevity. He elevated the Lakers into Showtime. Showtime wasn't just style. It was belief in speed and execution. Execution at high tempo requires conditioning. Conditioning builds endurance. Endurance builds consistency. Consistency builds dynasty. He understood something powerful. Basketball is energy exchange. If you project confidence, teammates absorb it. If you project panic, teammates mirror it. He projected joy. Joy under pressure is leadership. Leadership under pressure wins championships. Now internalize this. You do not have to be the loudest to lead. You must be the most confident. You do not have to dominate every possession. You must elevate every possession. You do not have to remove pressure. You must enjoy it. Say this internally now. I lead with confidence. I smile under pressure. I elevate my team. I control tempo. I create opportunities. I play free but disciplined. I trust my preparation. I embrace big moments, because joy under pressure is dominance, and my mindset is my edge. Greatness needs resistance. Without resistance, belief stays untested. For Magic, resistance had a name: Larry Bird. Rivalry is not hatred. It is pressure that forces evolution. When Magic and Bird met in the NBA, it wasn't just Lakers versus Celtics. It was philosophy versus philosophy. Showtime speed versus half-court precision. Joy versus calculated cold. But here's what made Magic different. He did not fear rivalry. He welcomed it, because rivalry exposes weakness, and exposure creates growth. He didn't avoid the matchup. He attacked it. Most players want easy paths. Easy paths build fragile confidence. Hard battles build durable belief. Every finals matchup sharpened him. Every hostile crowd strengthened him. Every physical possession toughened him. Pressure either fractures identity or reinforces it. His identity strengthened. He never lost his smile. But understand this: that smile was competitive fire. Controlled, focused, calculated. He was not naive. He was strategic. When games tightened, he didn't rush. He simplified. High pick and roll, drive and kick, post entry, transition read. Simplicity wins championships. He trusted Kareem. He trusted Worthy. He trusted shooters. Trust multiplies impact. Isolation shrinks team potential. He understood something many stars miss. You can score 40 and still lose, or you can orchestrate 20 assists and dominate. Dominance is not volume, it is influence. He influenced every possession, every tempo shift, every defensive adjustment. He controlled rhythm. Rhythm control creates psychological advantage. When opponents speed up emotionally, he slowed down physically. When opponents slowed, he attacked. Timing beats force. Force fades. Timing lasts. He didn't just play fast. He decided when fast mattered. He didn't just pass creatively. He passed decisively. Decision speed is mental dominance. Indecision invites defense. Decisiveness breaks it. Now understand the leadership layer. He held teammates accountable, not through fear, through belief. Belief elevates standards. Standards create consistency. Consistency builds dynasties. He wasn't afraid of mistakes. He wasn't afraid of turnovers, because fear limits aggression. Aggression with awareness wins games. He encouraged risk within structure. Structure protects creativity. Creativity expands scoring. Scoring builds runs. Runs break opponents mentally. And when championships were on the line, he expanded. He didn't shrink into passivity. He attacked space. He rebounded bigger than his position. He defended harder than expected. He competed without hesitation, because hesitation is doubt. Doubt had no place in his identity. His identity was leader, champion, playmaker. Confidence spreads. When your leader believes you will win, you start believing too. Belief changes shot selection. Belief changes defensive energy. Belief changes effort. Effort compounds. Compounded effort wins rings. Now internalize this deeper layer. Leadership is emotional regulation. Leadership is tempo control. Leadership is belief distribution. If you panic, your team panics. If you hesitate, your team hesitates. If you smile with certainty, your team relaxes. Relaxed execution is sharp execution. Sharp execution is championship execution. Say this internally now. I embrace rivalry. I grow under pressure. I lead with belief. I control tempo. I elevate others. I simplify the moment. I stay joyful under pressure. I compete without fear, because leadership is influence, and influence wins championships. You do not wait for the moment to give you confidence. You bring confidence into the moment. Leadership is not volume. It is presence. Presence changes energy. Energy changes performance. You understand now? The game is not just physical. It is emotional. And whoever controls emotion controls tempo. You control tempo. Not with panic. Not with force. With composure. When pressure rises, you breathe. When the crowd gets louder, you smile. Because pressure is proof that the moment matters. And you are built for moments that matter. You do not shrink in rivalry. You sharpen in it. You do not fear competition. You evolve because of it. Rivalry forces growth. Growth builds resilience. Resilience builds champions. You elevate others. Because real greatness multiplies. It does not isolate. You pass with trust. You lead with belief. You demand excellence by modeling it. When you walk into a room, energy shifts because your belief is steady. Your posture is calm. Your tone is certain. You do not rush. You do not hesitate. You decide. Decision-making speed is leadership. You simplify chaos. You slow the game. You accelerate when necessary. You understand timing. Timing beats force. Force fades. Timing wins titles. You are not afraid to make mistakes, because mistakes are information. Information refines skill. Skill repeated becomes instinct. Instinct under pressure becomes dominance. You trust preparation. You trust conditioning. You trust repetition. Preparation removes fear. Fear restricts creativity. Creativity is your advantage. You play expressive, but disciplined. Free, but controlled. Joyful, but competitive. Joy under pressure is power. Because most people tense up, you relax. Relaxed execution is sharp execution. Sharp execution changes outcomes. You are not chasing spotlight. You are creating impact. Impact defines legacy. Legacy is not built in highlight reels. It is built in leadership. Leadership requires accountability. Accountability requires standards. Standards require discipline. You hold yourself accountable first, before you hold anyone else, because example builds credibility. Credibility builds trust. Trust builds unity. Unity builds championships. Now say this internally. I lead with confidence. I control tempo. I elevate others. I smile under pressure. I simplify chaos. I trust my preparation. I make decisive choices. I embrace rivalry. I multiply belief. I'm calm in big moments. I am steady in adversity. I bring energy. I bring clarity. I bring confidence. Because leadership is responsibility. And responsibility creates greatness. The crowd cannot shake you. The moment cannot overwhelm you. The rivalry cannot intimidate you. You are built for high stakes. You enjoy the pressure. You thrive in the spotlight. Because confidence is not noise. It is certainty. Certainty spreads. And when you are certain, your team becomes certain. When your team is certain, victory becomes likely. And when victory becomes likely, dynasties are born. You do not hope to lead. You decide to lead. You do not wait for belief. You generate belief. You do not shrink from expectation. You rise to it. Because joy under pressure is dominance. Leadership under pressure is legacy. And your mindset is your edge.